Hello, everyone. Welcome to a world of movie spoilers. The road's end is approaching. The Fast and Furious franchise, now in its third decade and still going strong with the same core cast and characters as when it first started, concludes with Fast X, the 10th installment in the series. Now let's begin. The film opens a decade sooner in Rio de Janeiro. Kingpin Hernan Reis, Joaquim de Almeida, and his sociopathic child, Dante, Jason Momoa, are anticipating for Dom, Vin Diesel, and his group to go for them. Their Brazil heist goes off in the roads, with Dante chasing after them close by his dad. They come to the scaffold where Dom remained behind to guarantee Ray's end, while Dante was knocked off the extension and into the water. Present day in Los Angeles, Dom is showing little Brian, Leo Abelo Perry, how to drive prior to bringing him back home for a grill, as Abuelita Toretto, Rita Moreno, has flown in for the event. They get back to the remainder of the family: Letty, Michelle Rodriguez, Mia, Jordana Brewster, TJ, Chris Ludacris Extensions, Roman, Tyrese Gibson, Ramsey, Nathalie Emmanuel, and Han Sung Kang. After Abuelita conveys a discourse, everybody eats prior to examining an arranged heist in Rome that was evidently dispatched by little nobody Scott Eastwood. Around evening time, Dom lets Letty know how little Brian said he's not terrified of anything, yet he truly fears losing his loved ones. Minutes after the fact, a beaten and bloodied Cypher, Charlize Theron, appears at the house. Dom and Letty conceal little Brian prior to defying their foe. Cypher says that they have a more concerning issue coming their direction as Dante. He prior came into her office in the wake of killing 2 monitors and uncovering that he has hijacked the friends and family of Cypher's colleagues, driving them to move loyalties so he can pursue Dom. He leaves subsequent to taking her hacking tech and having the leftover cohorts stay to kill her. Cypher battled out prior to going down a deep opening with one final thug prior to coming to the Toretto home. Dom and Letty contact little nobody, who has specialists show up right away and bring Cypher into care. They then discover that the Rome heist was an arrangement coordinated by Dante, so they fly on out there. While in the city, TJ, Roman, Ramsey, and Han move their freight, which ends up being a huge bomb. Dante then hacks into their trucks to cause them to wander into traffic prior to endeavoring to convey the bomb to the Vatican. Dom, Letty, and little nobody capture the remainder of the pack and get them underground while Dante endeavors to explode them all. The bomb winds up moving right down the slopes and roads, while Letty attempts to pursue Dante, just for him to move away and her getting captured. Dom makes up for lost time to the bomb and uses a crane to thump it away from the way of the Vatican. Yet the following impact span causes huge harm. The posse are completely mocked as psychological oppressors and self-isolate, while Dante boasts to Dom about destroying his loved ones. At the organization, new Chief Ames, Alan Richson, meets with Tess, Brie Larson, girl of Mr. Nobody, Kurt Russell. Ames has been following the Toretto posse's set of experiences of road hustling to worldwide heisting, accepting that no one was too kind with them. While Tess contends with all due respect and how they have cut down a few pretty serious hoodlums, Ames figures out how to persuade the remainder of the organization's board to pursue them. The media then marks the pack worldwide fearmongers, bringing about Roman bringing TJ, Ramsey, and Han to London. Mia is dealing with little Brian when a group of organization mercs storms in. Mia attempts to fend them off while little Brian stows away, just for them to be saved by Jacob, John Cena, having been reached by Dom. He tosses a person through the floor and slams different miscreants all around. Jacob advises Mia to get someplace protected with Brian and the children, while he takes little Brian with him securely back to Dom. Tess tracks down Dom in Brazil and lets him know who Dante is, telling Dom why he's pursuing him. He requests help in excusing them and for getting Letty out, as she has been taken to a mysterious office base. Tess meets with Letty and makes an arrangement to get her moved out of there and into one more area by making it seem as though Letty is going after her. Dom goes to a road hustling occasion to meet with Diogo Luis da Silva Jor, alongside a young lady named Isabel Daniela Melchior that Dom knows. Dante appears and moves Dom to a road race close by Diogo and Isabel. During the race, Dante causes Dom to pick which of the two will pass on, as he has set up bombs under their vehicles. Dom winds up attempting to dial Isabel back, making Dante explode Diogo on the track. Dante then attempts to go for Isabel at any rate. However, Dom thumps the bomb off her vehicle in spite of making her accident. Dom hauls her out of the disaster area while Dante moves away. The other four wind up gathering an old hacking mate of Ramsey's named Bowie, Pete Davidson. Ramsey recuperates a document and discovers that her observation framework God's Eye is being utilized by Dante to target individuals near Dom. Dante winds up depleting their assets. However, Roman had some money got. The four are compelled to track down Deckard Shaw, Jason Statham, who thinks Han is there to battle him after his endeavor to kill him. Yet their fight is intruded on by more organization thugs appearing. Shaw kills them and gains from Ramsey that his mom, Magdalene Helen Mirren, is among the possible targets, so he takes off to safeguard his loved ones. The remainder of the posse tracks down a vehicle to get them to somewhere safe. Letty awakens in an office close by Cypher. She hacks the spot to gas the gatekeepers and free them. While they attempt to get away, Letty impels a battle, prompting them punching and kicking and tossing each other into gear. After they return to their faculties, Letty endeavors to get out without Cypher, just to figure out that the office is in Antarctica. Jacob bonds with little Brian and attempts to mix in with him to keep away from doubt. They get onto a plane where an airline steward, Meadow Walker, who is Jacob's companion, makes him aware of the presence of 3 of Dante's hooligans. He takes them out and has the lady conceal their bodies while he and little Brian board a mystery stream toward Brazil. Isabel awakens in Dom's condo that he imparted to Elena, Elsa Pataki, who ends up being Isabel's more seasoned sister. She lets Dom know that she generally felt like Elena was the better kin and contemplates whether some unacceptable sister kicked the bucket. Dom guarantees her that isn't true. With Isabel's assistance, they find Elena's old records on Dante and find a property of his attached to an unwanted police headquarters. Dom visits the station and tracks down various recordings and accounts of him and his family throughout the long term. Dante calls and insults Dom about causing him to endure before he kicks the bucket, as his dad showed him, gazing outside the window at Isabel before Ames makes an appearance to capture Dom. Dom is shipped over a similar extension where the heist went down when the guard taking him gets besieged by Dante. A face-off happens on the scaffold when Tess and Ames attempt to bring Dante and his thugs down, yet Dante has a marksman on them that shoots them both down and out prior to having it point at Isabel, whom Dante had hijacked. Dom moves Isabel while Dante takes God's Eye from Tess, telling Dom that he can now track down his child prior to moving away. Isabel takes Tess out to somewhere safe and secure, while Dom competitions to track down little Brian with assistance from Ames. Dante tracks Jacob and little Brian's area. However, Jacob comes ready with a cannon-stacked vehicle that explodes the hooligans. Little Brian endeavors to help by moving out the back. However, this offers Dante a chance to swipe the kid from the vehicle. Jacob alarms Dom before he can arrive at his sibling. Dom has exited a stream in his vehicle before two of Dante's sharpshooters' choppers shoot his vehicle with spears. However, at that point, Dom drives off the extension and causes them to impact and detonate. Jacob then allows Dom an opportunity to escape by forfeiting himself, flipping his bomb-filled vehicle onto the approaching thugs and going out in a lamentable yet legendary burst of brilliance. Dom arrives at Dante's vehicle and gets little Brian to fly out and into Dom's vehicle. Dante then has two oil big haulers endeavor to run into Dom and little Brian over a dam. So he does the main sensible thing and drives the vehicle down the dam while the big haulers explode one another, compelling Dom to raise a ruckus around town hard so they can beat the following fire off. The point when it seems to be Dom and little Brian are protected, a plane conveying the remainder of Dom's group get hit by a rocket requested by, as a matter of fact, Ames, who was working with Dante since the Rio heist. Dom looks as his companions collide with a mountain. Dante pronounces that Dom has had his affliction. Presently, he can kick the bucket. He then, at that point, fixes the whole dam to blow in practically no time. Dom can check out at his child with dread. Back in Antarctica, Letty and Code rise out of the office and see a humongous submarine rise out of the ice, directed by and in some way alive, Gizel, Gale, Gadot. Letty on searches in shock while Code seems to have made arrangements for this from the start. Halfway through the credits, a group of police swarm an unwanted Dante office. One of the men finds a ringing telephone and responds to it, hearing Dante's voice checking him as his next focus. For he is the man that by and by executed his dad right then and there. The man, obviously, is, in all honesty, Luke Hobbs, Dwayne Johnson. He essentially tells Dante, I ain't difficult to come by. Yeah, aggregate B-I-T-C-H. Prior to smashing the telephone to tidy, Dom finds his family destroyed by Dante Reyes, the wrathful mental case child of the wrongdoing ruler looted and killed by the Toretto group in Rio a decade sooner. He prevails with regards to turning Cypher's men against her by abducting their friends and family, driving her to ward them off and caution Dom. They are marked worldwide psychological oppressors after a sham heist in Rome where the Vatican is nearly exploded. Letty is captured, yet helped by Tess, girl of Mr. Nobody, while new Chief Ames is after every one of them. Roman gets himself, in addition to TJ, Ramsey, and Han, to London. Dom gets Jacob to safeguard Mia and little Brian prior to accompanying the kid back to Dom securely. Dom finds support from Isabel, sister of Elena Neves, to find Dante after he almost kills her in a race. Dom gets captured, yet gets caught by Dante on the extension where the heist went down. Despite the fact that Tess and Ames help, Dante debilitates them and takes God's Eye from Tess to find little Brian. Dante hijacks the kid, and Jacob penances himself to kill Dante's thugs and help Dom. Dom saves his child. However, Dante is working with Ames and destroys the plane conveying the remainder of the posse. The dam Dom and little Brian are in is manipulated to detonate with them in it. Letty and Cypher wind up cooperating and meet with an absolutely alive Gizel. Dante then focuses on Hobbs. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more spoiler-filled adventures. I have some exciting movies lined up for future discussions, including Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. We'll continue to dive deep into the twists and turns of our favorite films, uncovering their secrets one spoiler at a time.